came home, the building was burning, and everybody in the neighborhood come out, and it was a big party. And there were some very attractive, like, Mexican boys in the neighborhood. They were just kind of hanging out with no shirts on, and it was hot, and women were, you know, ooh. And they had one of those feelings, you know? So this is called Fire. Last night, a wicker Park 2-flat burned to the ground. I watched the fire for what seemed like hours, ashamed of my obsession with the edges of temperature, shamelessly craving the dark, oily smell, the sad curl of furniture, the mad slapping sound. It burned the way the boys on my street burned, the ripe brown, seamless boys of Paulina, beautiful and idle beneath the sun's copper push. I once believed they were the source of my fever. I am suspicious of their hissing, their motives, but I am full of their black razored hair, their eyes like stormwater, and their muscled forearms braced just outside the open windows of cars. I want to scream the short city blocks and their lowriders, the bass line bringing pain to my mouth, whipping across this tuneless city like a match across the face of a matchbook. I want to feel the road burn beneath us. I want to feel their stomach muscles move like snakes beneath the pads of my restless fingers. Last night, a woman in Wicker Park lost her baby to the fire. I locked my eyes on the flames like a brainless child, like a hungry woman with heat, my only language, while the woman's screams wrote a bitter poem on the hot air, and lean, shirtless boys belched Budweiser toward the flames. Acceptance, they realized, is the only true solution, is a lesson the grieving mother will learn soon. I watched the fire for hours. It burned the way I burn. When you slip a thick finger into me, when my voice breaks in my throat and my body pours hallelujahs into the cup of your hand. Watching the flames, I wanted my hair to hurt with smoke. When your body covered mine that night, I wanted to be blacker, to be unbearably hot, to hiss when you touched me. I wanted my new skin to crackle beneath you. I wanted your mouth to become a huge, impossible circle as you began to burn, screaming that mother's first scream. Couple of crime poems here. I don't know. In Chicago, they started out being a street gang, and now they're kind of community service street gang, and you know. But anybody heard the El Rukins? No? Well, okay, it started out being the South Side is a predominantly black area of Chicago, and started out as a street gang over there, and the leader of this gang was named Jeff Fort, and he was betrayed by members of the gang and threw him into jail. And I heard a lot of people saying, well, now that Jeff Fort is behind bars, the city is safe again, as if he didn't have anybody out on the street. So this was an actual headline in the Sun-Times newspaper I used to work for. Jurors are told, don't fear Jeff Fort. If you're pulling in the air and spitting out breath, you should be fearing Jeff Fort. Your hand should pulse outward from your body to feel the cage he's placed around you. You should be double boating your dreams. He's hot spice, kinked curls, a grimace and a little spit. He's potion, the film at 11, head wraps in black, red, green. He's the fury in the fields, the 63rd Street bus, the sharp stone trapped beneath the lid of your eye. He's the face of the thing you hoped would have no face. But he has a face, and that face is turning toward you. You saw the films the traitors made, the gritty lens pulled in tight on his eyes, his hands, the skin almost hidden beneath dusty, knotted hair. He was short, his every move a laughable grand notion, and to you he was just a comic book. You imagined the words pow and whack and balloons above his head. To you he was a concrete snake, the product of rip houses, storefront churches, and a rotting school system, and that was okay, as long as he didn't know your daughter's name. But now you sit in judgment. The word guilty is hard candy cooling your teeth, so you signal to his bowed head, hey Jeff, I wanted to believe, but I'm a constant, I gotta live clean. Jeff said, I ain't never killed nobody. He just nodded his head. Jeff said, I ain't never killed nobody. He just clapped his hands. snapped his fingers while the head exploded on someone else's fingers. The newspaper said not to worry, not to fret. It's only blood flowing on the wrong side of town, no big thing. But it's crazy. You're losing just that little bit of sleep, and it's crazy. He's just lower class trouble, and where does it all feel so crazy? You're crazy if you think the two eyes you saw in his head are the only eyes he has. If you think that adding time to his hard time will keep him from reaching out for you. If you think that locking your fear behind bars will keep your midnights clean. There's an area in Chicago, as there is in most big cities, where there's a concentration of homeless people. And there was this one woman I would pass on my way to work, and she would sit in doorways, and you'd ask her, to take her in and give her a cup of coffee or some food or some money or something. And she would just say, "My name is Maria." You say, do you need help? "My name is Maria." "Are you cold? Are you hungry? My name is Maria." So this is for her. Maria wakes up and screams with her shoulders. But another sun passes and another moon passes before she pulls back the skin that stretches across her eyes and converses with the concrete in whispers. Yesterday, she sat tall and straight in a hard metal chair, her toes all crazy, nervous strumming, her head feeling pinched and steamy beneath fluorescent lights, and listened as the helpless helped her to help herself by saying, "We can't help you." She remembers her elbows growing red against the thin, rough threads of a borrowed jacket. She remembers thinking, "But I can talk." She must have felt bare and cheapened beneath the lights, because this morning she woke up on the ground right outside Good Times, breathing walls and talking for hours with her bone, calling for help with her shoulders. But she stands up anyway. She gets right up. She's Maria. Her belly was once broad with children. If you touched her hair with your tongue, the bitterness would drive you back and down. She's Maria. She opens her thighs and lets in slivers of sun. She's Maria, the woman of 6 syllables. Born into a hell of bricks. Now without a home, without songs, without beams of moon, without qualifications, without words, without help, without a warm coat, without tender touching. Tonight, she knows only snow will cushion her sleep, because she stands up. She gets right up and she walks. Because even though that cold metal chair carved its message into the small of her back, her name's still Maria. She's brown and strong. She can type in it. Her shoulders say so.